Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how to not only conceal your under eyes, but how to disguise those under eye bags. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. I don't have severe under eye bags. I know, but I do have some. They're not bad today. And the way that I do my concealer helps with that. There's also a product that I've shared with you guys, but maybe you guys didn't all hear about the products. I'm going to share some techniques with you guys that I hope that will be really helpful to you. So before we get started, I share a makeup, skincare, fashion for mature ladies. If that's something that interests you, please consider clicking that button below and hitting that subscribe button. It's free. And I share new information, new techniques, new everything every single week. And don't forget to click that notification bell, girl, because I don't want you to miss out on any of my future content. So let's just do it. First, I want to talk about puffiness or eye bags first. Then I'm going to talk about concealing. And concealing will go for really just basic under eye concealing, which is something I think a lot of us mature women really struggle with. I know I did for a while. I couldn't figure it out until now I figured it out. So I'm going to share it with you. So if you have puffy under eyes, now mine are not bad at all today. I have a little bit of puffiness under there. I know on camera you're probably like, girl, I don't see anything. I know. But mine are caused from allergies. So if I were to lift my eye up like this a little bit, I don't know if you can see the difference between this eye and that eye. See how that just tightening up a little bit? So I just have a little bit right here. One of the things that you can do, if it's just allergy related, then what you can do is take something like this. These are rose quartz stones. I keep them in the refrigerator. And in the morning before you do your makeup, it could be part of your skincare routine, you just place them here. I don't move them around unless you have some kind of serum or something because you don't want to pull your eyes. So you just place them on here and it feels amazing. If you don't want to spend the money on these, use spoons. So just take little spoons, maybe those little teaspoons, keep them in the refrigerator the night before, especially if you know in the morning you're going to have puffy under eyes, and then before you do your makeup and everything, just place the back of the spoons on this part of your eyes and just let it sit for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, and then take it off. So that'll take the swelling down. Another thing that will help to depuff your under eyes is caffeine. Now I know not everybody can do that. Especially if you have a little bit of an allergy to caffeine. Girl, I don't have an allergy to it. But if you do, then you want to stay away from it. But if you don't, but there's creams, there's masks that you can use, and you can put them under your eyes, let it sit there, and it will slowly kind of depuff that area. Now, if you have serious under eye bags that you're like, girl, none of that's going to work for me, then you want to try this. Now the only thing with this is if you have any discoloration under your eyes, you can't use a cream or liquid or anything like that. You can only use this. I'll show you what I use with this. But this alone, because it kind of lifts my eye up a little bit, I don't have that shadow as much there for me under eyes. I've shared this with many of you guys, but I have a lot of new people here. So this is the Peter Thomas Roth Instant Firm Eye. This stuff is freaking amazing, but you have to use it right. That is the key. You have to use it right. I did a video on it and I will link it up here so you can check it out. This stuff is fabulous. So you use a tiny amount and I use a brush. I just use a flat makeup brush and I just apply it right there. Leave it alone. You don't want to play with it. You don't want to put too much on. If you put too much on, you're going to see a lot of white stuff all around it, and then you got to wipe it off. Now, sometimes I can just take my finger and blend that white in and it goes away, but sometimes you just have to rip, and it happens to me. But you use the tiniest, tiny, not even the size of a pea. A teeny tiny amount is all you need. And it works if you use it right, because I've had so many of you guys say, you're right, it works. It really does. So if you are having an issue with that still and you're like, well, I still have some discoloration, it's nice that it gets rid of my puffy under eye bags, but now I still have a little discoloration, that's when you want to use something like this. This is the only one I know of. If there's any other color correctors, maybe I'll have to look and see if I can find any other ones. But what I like about this is from Color Science. This has an SPF of 20, I believe, in it. Yes, it has an SPF of 20, so that's nice right there. So it doesn't irritate my under eyes or anything like that. So all of these do different things. On the back it says the different, what it corrects. So if you have purples or reds or whatever, it'll say in the back and then use those. You can see these are the two that I use the most. So you just take a brush and you just lightly put it on there. It's not going to be like 100% it is gone, but it does really, really help. I use this on blemishes. Sometimes I'll put it on my scar too. I know it has nothing to do with the video, but I'm just saying I really do love this, and I have backup because I really love it. So let's talk about now under eye concealing and with bags and everything. Now, one thing you have to remember, when you have this little space here under your eyes, you don't want to put a lot of product under there. I don't understand why people go crazy. Don't even put like the big triangle under there. Here's the thing, you guys. When you have mature eyes and you have mature skin, unless you have really tight skin because you have procedures and stuff, so maybe your skin is different, but I feel like the majority of mature women don't have that. I mean, I don't have lines and wrinkles on my face, but when I smile, I do. See? See my lines? Okay. So if I put a lot of product there and I smile, what's going to happen? Class? Anybody? It's going to settle. It's going to settle, and it's going to settle in there, and it's going to accent it, and it's going to make it look worse. First thing you want to do, if you have purple discoloration, is you want to color correct. Now, I don't always do this. I find myself doing it more lately because I like the way it really, really covers my under eyes, but then there's sometimes some days that I don't. I just use a concealer and go because I feel like it's okay. So I don't have the other one in front of me, but you want to use a peach corrector. I have a little one, it's just not in front of me, but you want to use a peach corrector. This one is from Chanel, and the other one that I like is from Lancome, but you don't want to use a lot because this is just color correcting. And the other one that I really like is from Fit Glow Beauty. Again, you want to use a little bit. I'm going to use these two today, but I just want to talk about a couple other things. What works for me may not work for you. So my products that work on my eyes may not work on yours. So sometimes you just have to try different ones out and see what's going to work for you. But number one is the way you're applying it, how you're blending it in, and where you're putting it. So that's why I want to show you that. So first you want to color correct. After the color correcting, then you want to use a concealer. There's different concealers. I've never had luck with the kind that are in the little pots. Like I think NARS has one. I just don't have luck with those. And even some of these are not that great. I don't like this one. This one's from Giorgio Armani, did not work on me. And this one's from Lancome. This isn't bad, but I have to be very, very careful how much I use. This one's way too thick for me. This is the Camouflage from Lancome. This one is the best. This one is the Lancome Effacierants. I love this one. I know a lot of you guys like this too. It's really, really good. The other one that's really, really good, this helps to color correct and is also a concealer, is this one. And this one is from Anastasia. This is the Pro Pencil. It says eyeshadow primer and color corrector, but I use it as concealer. Okay. So you just use a little bit right here, and then I blend it in. Love this one. I know a lot of you got hooked on that too. So that's the thing, you've got to figure out what works for you. Another thing that I do is I use this. This is a Smashbox under eye primer. I don't believe in primers. This one I really do like though, because I do feel like it keeps my under eye concealer in place. But again, you want to use a minute amounts. Don't go crazy with this. I mean, not even the size of the pea. I'm going to show you how much. You're hardly going to see it, and this is going to be enough for 2 eyes, okay? For both eyes. A tiny, tiny bit, just like that. Can you see that? That's all you need. Really little. I think sometimes we use way too much product, and no matter what you're going to use under your eyes, it's going to settle. So we're going to get right into that. The first thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to use this one, is I'm going to scrape it off. This one takes longer to dry. That's the only thing I don't like about this. But so you have to blend it in well, and I cannot stress enough that you cannot use a lot. But it goes for anything that you use by your eyes. So do you see where, I don't know if you can see on camera, but right here this is where I have my discoloration. Now if you have total discoloration under your whole eye, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to apply it all under there. I would still only apply any, concealer or color corrector just in that area and then blend it out, because we need to thin that out so it's not too heavy, and so it doesn't just go into our lines. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go like this and dab it right there. That's it. Then you can do a couple things. You can use a brush like this. You can use a sponge like this. This is that super sponge. I think I'm going to use this today. And I got to get my mirror here, and I'm going to take this. And this is a double-ended. This is from Fit Glow Beauty. So you have the smaller side and then you have the bigger size, which I don't use a size for setting my under eyes. I use a different brush. And we're going to talk about setting under eyes when we get to that point. So first I'm just going to take this and I'm going to tap it like this, and I'm just keeping it there. You can use a makeup sponge. I've used a beauty blender, like I said, a super sponge, whatever. You can use one of those too. I just find using a tool, either a brush or a sponge, works better than my finger for me. I always feel like with my finger, I just don't think it blends in as well for me. Because I feel like either a brush or a sponge is kind of pushing it into any kind of creasing or lines I have. And that makes a big difference. So now that I got it blended in, I'm going to take this really lightly and I'm going to blend it. And I'm even going to take whatever's left on here and just get it in there. But can you see the difference already between that eye and that eye? I feel like I can see a difference already, and I haven't put concealer in. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not even double dipping. I'm just taking what's on here and I'm just pressing that on there. I'm putting that on. Because the more that you put on, the more chances it's going to settle. So I'm just going to take this again and I'm just going to tap this. And just keep it right here. Again, even if you have a lot of discoloration there, you don't want to take this and just blend it everywhere, because what's going to happen, you're going to put too much product on, and when you smile, see how that is? So we don't want to do that. It's just going to settle in there. I'm just going to say this, I'm just going to put it out there. I see a lot of makeup artists doing concealer, and I think they give really great tips. But I think unless you have under eye wrinkles, I mean real wrinkles, and your skin is just different, because I feel like the texture of our skin is different. I didn't understand it either until I got older, and then I was like, what the hell is going on with my makeup? Nothing is working for me. So it's just, I've learned how to do it on under my eyes. Now some of you have told me that you use serums first and then apply it. I can't do that, because I just feel like for me, if it's too slick, if there's too much going on, then all this stuff is going to settle for me. So that's why I said some of this is personal, but I still feel like you can learn from this. I feel like these are tips that you can still incorporate. So I'm going to go ahead and take this concealer, Fit Glow Beauty, and I'm going to go right on my eyes. Actually, I'm going to do it far away. Right on my eyes, right there. In that same area. Take that same brush, and now again, just tapping, keeping it in this area. I'm going to blend it out, but I'm just not going to do it right away. You don't want to smile or anything yet. We're going to do a smile test. Now I'm going to take this and really lightly I'm going to blend that out. So it takes a little bit longer to do under eyes, but it's worth it, because if you don't do it right, it's just going to look like crap. I'm just going to tell you. You got to put it in the right area, and you have to blend it in, and you don't want to use too much. I think if you are having issues with it settling, you're either not applying it right, applying too much, or you might not be using the right concealer for you. Now, I don't always set my under eyes. It depends on the concealer. This one, I feel like I have to, because I just feel like it takes a while to dry down for me. So now I'm going to take it. And just really gently, I want to get it in this corner and make sure it's blended well. And I'm gonna flip it over just want to get it, whatever's on that brush. I just want to get up there because I have some redness up there. Before you set your under eyes, and you don't have to do this if you don't feel like you have to. Most of the time I don't. The only time I've been doing it is when I use this. I feel like I have to. So I'm gonna do a smile test. And I'm gonna make sure that everything is blended good. Because once you set that under eye, it's gonna stay, girl. So you just wanna make sure that it is blended. And I am just lightly going, this is my It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush. Now I don't wanna smile anymore. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury magic powder, and I don't use a lot of this. I do not bake. I'm taking my BK Beauty brush. This is my number 108 brush. I'm dipping it in here, and then I'm just applying it underneath. Again, I'm using very little. Even though I did it twice because I wanted to make sure I wasn't using that much, and then I'm just gonna lightly brush it away. I want to show you my eyes close up so you can see my under eyes. Come on, girl. My under eyes don't look cakey or crepey or wrinkled or whatever. I know you're seeing some shadows right there because of the lights, but in person, it looks much better. Okay, so that is how I not only conceal my under eyes, but kind of disguise my back. So if I have days where my allergies are really bad, on go those little rose quartz, girl. If you saw my table right now, it's a hot mess. On go these little guys here, these little nuggets of goodness. They go right underneath my eyes. They are wonderful, but you don't have to get this fancy one. Just use some spoons, all right? Even if you have severe under eye bags, I feel like these tips will still be helpful to you. But just like with my, this is only, I need surgery for that. That's the only thing that I'm going to get rid of that. You know what I mean? That's all I can do. But I just got to deal with it and live with it for now. Sometimes we just have to live with certain things. You can do things and tips and tricks. Makes it a little bit easier for you. Maybe you can live with it a little bit more. But I mean, surgery is probably, if you want to totally eliminate it. But I'm telling you, this one, you might want to check it out before you get that done, because I've seen this demoed on someone that has like severe under eye bags, and this works, girl. You just have to do it the right way. You have to apply it the right way. If you do, it's a miracle. Okay, I'm telling you, it's a miracle. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Please share it. I really appreciate when you do that. It helps my analytics. You can also follow me on Instagram as well, and let me know if you have any tips, if you have any favorite concealers or anything that's similar to this that works for you, or any gadgets that you've used that helps. Just leave it below, because it will be helpful to anybody that's searching for help with that particular area. We all struggle with that area under our eyes. So any tips that I shared hopefully are helpful, and any tips anybody else shares is helpful for all of us. So I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye. But we all struggle. I feel like we all struggle with it, and well, you can tell I'm Italian too, with the hands. Even if you have really severe bags under your eyes. Why am I saying baggy? I'm gonna sit with my hands straight. Yeah. And we all struggle with it when we get to, it sounded like I had another voice come out of me. That was weird. Why do I look so yellow? Ugh. So I'm going to show that. I'm going to share some